ready.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Jacob Shapiro.
It's very nice to meet you, Jacob Shapiro. Has anyone ever told you look like Ravi Shapiro from Victorious?
I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. Oh wait, no, I know what that. Never mind. Okay, great. I see it though. No, come on in. We stopped for nobody.
It's okay. Okay, perfect. Do you think we could ask you a few questions about your work?
Please do. Yeah.
Beautiful. So my first question is going to be about your acting.
Okay.
I see here that you have worked on quite a few films, short films. What role have you done in the past that you feel most connected with?
I did a character, an unnamed character, that ran a video store, and we did about 3 shorts with this character, back to back to back, and I really feel like because I was able to make it my own. And he's just this dude who runs a video store, and then he just loses it. He loses his mind, and he starts to interpret reality based on the movies that he's seen and that he surrounds himself with. So it was a really interesting character study for because I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of movies with friends, and I wanted to see what the extreme of that would be, and so I played that, and that was really fun.
That's very interesting.
What do you like to write about?
Oh God! Oh, everything. I love writing extreme character moments. I love writing about a person on their worst day. You know, I love when you can put someone in such a situation that is way they're not prepared for, and then just the world is crashing down on them, and there's something relatable, something like that.
That's
sci-fi action, the romance, maybe.
Very interesting.
Thank you.
I would like to bounce over to cinematography for a moment.
Good.
So how would you light a horror scene?
Harsh lighting. I
Harsh lighting.
love harsh lighting. I look at things from a lens of what I've liked and seen before. I love it when the shadows are rich and dark and spooky. And let's frame a scene here. So characters in a house, and someone's there to kill them. You don't want to show the audience the killer's there. How do you have both in the same frame at one time? Harsh lighting, a little bit of maybe like the TV's on in the background and there's static and it's projecting a light that's kind of illuminating the room, but it's not giving the entire room light. Playing with shadows in a way that's I don't know, giving the shadows their own life. I love doing that, and I love horror.
That's very, very interesting. So how would you communicate with your director your visual concept for something like that?
Well, meetings, pre-production. I think a film lives and dies in pre-production. It's all about storyboarding things as early as possible, talking script with the director, because I've been fortunate enough to do both. I've been able to do both and field both sides of the conversation. And the more prepared my DP or my director is, the better. And then, translating their vision to what I have in mind, working that out, and finding a good, happy medium in the storyboards, and then eventually talking through, blocking, and it's all got to be based on, what we can get. And I think pre-production is so important and great.
That's very interesting.
Do you have a passport?
I do have a passport.
That's very, very good. What other skills would you say you had?
How much time do you have?
Oh, really?
No, outgoing, I like to think. I have a passion for film. My bag over there in the corner is full of movies that I've seen from this year. I just
carry around these movies?
I carry around a bunch of movies. I'm actually dropping a few off with my friend because I think the greatest thing that I can do as someone who loves film is sharing film. And so I bought my friend all of my favorite movies from the year. So Parasite, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Lighthouse. I bought all of those, and I'm gonna go give them to him today. So.
Oh my goodness, he would have hated our conversation about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood earlier.
That's all right. If we have time, no. Keep going.
What is your first approach to writing your stories?
Characters. It's all got to be characters. A good story is nothing without its characters. As long as you make an audience care about something, you can relate to those characters. You can do anything to them. You can throw them into the pits of hell, I think. But as long as you relate to the internal struggle, and as long as you feel that there's a real person there, you can do anything.
That's really beautiful. What experiences have you had with cinematography?
I did a couple short films. I've worked behind the scenes on several. I like to be as well-rounded in that field as possible. I've always tried to be hands-on with cameras. I've always been, I've shadowed camera team a lot on certain projects, and I don't know. I think it's fun and great.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Voiceovers.
How do you troubleshoot on set? If
If
something goes wrong, how does your demeanor change, or
Not-
what
not
kind of
that
attitude
much.
do you?
I come from the perspective of I've done theater for a couple years, and I've worked as a stage manager for a couple shows, assistant director for several others, and I like to think that they're kind of connected in a sense. But no, being the calmest person on set is always probably the most important thing you can do. If something were to go wrong, you always want to have backups. You always want to have options. You know, everyone always says plan for A through Z, and then 1 through 10. So as long as preparation was there and in place, I don't feel like, I mean, everything's going to go wrong anyways. So being prepared for that is great. But even when you can't be prepared for something and something's still going wrong, it's nice to just have a cool head to like discuss things with and figure out alternatives. Because I've been on sets where like we had to shut down shooting for the entire night and just go to the next day because we could not work it out. But we did, and we got everything. So
That's very, very good. How do you make up names when writing characters for your stories?
I pull from people I know. I pull from my friends. I sometimes will like scroll through my Facebook friends list, which is like 500 people right now, and like. I don't know, I just pick names, but I like to jumble it up a little bit. Like sometimes I'll go to random name generators or baby name generators because I think they're fun. Like I look at the ones from like when I was born, and like my name is Jacob, and it was like the #1 baby name from 1999, so
Oof.
fun. But yeah, I also pull from movies. I pull like character names that I like from movies. So sometimes I'll have like there'll be a character I really like that I'll base on another character, like loosely kind of character dynamic stuff, and then I'll just kind of port a name over. But,
Do you feel like that could ever be problematic?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But it's like, I think that as long as it's respectful and not like, I'm not naming a character Marty McFly, but I might name a character Martin or Marty, like in kind of homage to that sort of thing if it's close enough. But I'd never want to directly copy and paste.
Okay.
What is your type?
As an actor.
That's a good question. As an actor, I've always been cast as, like, in high school, especially when I did theater, I was always cast as, like, the dad, which I hated. But I found out that it's supporting roles that are really important. I think having a solid ensemble, having a good support team to lead the main cast is almost as important as having a lead.
Would you consider yourself more of a character actor then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I was a zombie a couple weeks ago, and that was some of the most fun I've had on any set ever.
Okay,
And
that's very fun.
Very, very cool.
And then how far would you go to tell the story of a character, whether it's in your writing, your acting, cinematography?
Oh, as far as I can. Absolutely. Something I like to do is, going back to just loving movies, I've always loved watching behind the scenes things and learning about the lengths that characters and actors and directors and people go to get things done. Like, some of the most inspiring stuff to me is 80s movies and how they got away with like incredible special effects back in the day. And they went to insane lengths to do shit. Sorry, my bad. Pardon my French. But I was watching a video on Terminator 2, and those guys, every trick in the book, and they like, just go back and watch Terminator 2 again, guys, please. Yeah, I think that it's the pursuit of character that's the most important. So if it's required of me, then I will go that route.
Any other questions? No? Thank you so much for coming and
Of
talking
course.
with us.
Thank you for having me.